Sir, I think his concern is something different. I would also like to add something. It's not about exactly availability. Actually, uh, Chhattisgarh is particularly not like three crop seasons. Okay,
Yes.
so there they have some irrigations limitation. So they usually have only one crop, and that is rice, paddy. So that's why their total generation of this raw biomass is limited in this area. But so this can be seen as Omkar sir was explaining. There is some exemption. It will be seen in detail, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you will be concentrating only within 100 kilometers only, because there are areas where are quite good availability. In Chhattisgarh also there are areas where you have all three crops. So every way you have to see, right, sir?
Sir, can we move next question? Abhishek Kumar Yadav ji. Praveen Gupta ji.
Yes, sir. My voice is audible.
Yes, Praveen Gupta ji, boliye.
Yeah, sir. As we are just
No, your voice is not coming, sir. Please unmute.
hello, sir. Now audible.
Yes, audible.
Yeah, sir. As we are using biomass co-firing, then power production cost, generation cost will increase from 25 paisa to 45 paisa per unit according to the percentage 7.5 or 10%, and increased heat rate. The generation cost will increase approximately 25 paisa to 45 paisa per kilowatt hour. So that is there any policy in change in the policy for the power generating stations, those who are having the long-term PPA?
I think Shukla ji, Omkar Shukla ji can tell.
Sir, what policy? So please come again.
Sir, when we are going for that biomass co-firing, the generation cost per unit will increase from 25 to 45 paisa according to the percentage of use of biomass 5% to 10% and reduction in heat rate. So that is there any compensation policy for the generating stations, those who are having the long-term PPA?
Okay, it will also be reviewed. Otherwise, at present, under section 62, it can be claimed. Tariff can be claimed. Provision is there, section 62 and 63.
Yeah. Okay.
I think let me come here. I think as per the regulation, the cost of biomass is passed through. So that should pass through. And the second is, I was just wondering, you are telling that the increase of ECR is 25 to 45 paisa.
Yes, sir.
That's what
It
you
is
are
double,
telling.
almost double.
I do not know what is your biomass cost, biomass pellet cost.
Biomass cost is approximately 6,800 rupees per metric ton, and when we are going for 5%.
6,800 at the cost at your doorstep.
Yes, sir.
With 6,800 cost at your doorstep, I think cost ECR should not increase by 25 to 45 paisa. As per the experience of NTPC plants, it is found that it is within 6 paisa to 11 paisa. That's the maximum. So it should not be anyway. But as per the regulation, it should be passed through. Am I right?
Because sir,
yes,
as
yes,
just thumb rule, when the pellet cost is that 6,800 rupees, and I am considering coal cost 4,000.
Okay.
Per metric ton.
Okay, that
then the overall fuel cost will increase by 8.4%.
Okay, that can be checked again. But anyway, whatever be the increase of the cost, that should be passed through.
And sir, second question with Mr. Karmakar. When the ash property is slightly corrosive than the pure coal property, so is there any effect on the ESP internal and or that superheater reheater coils for their long-term life RLR?
See, from our experience of co-firing in Dadri, we have not observed this type of thing till now. but we have to take care on a long-term basis, because the high temperature corrosion is a very slow phenomena and a very long-term phenomena. And and even 10% biomass co-firing, at least till this time, I think we have 2 to 3 years of co-firing. We have not seen any adverse effect till now.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Karmakar sir. Now, this Ujjwal Chaudhary, this is last question, I think. Ujjwal Chaudhary ji. Rajan Tiwari.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Sir, I have just two questions. Do we have any uh, experience of firing biomass in the units having fabric filters in place? And what is the effect on the fabric filters? We discussed about ESP, but since our units are having fabric filters, so this is considering the temperature rise as well as the stickiness in the flue gas. So what would be the effect on fabric filter? And my second question would be, since we are also operating flue gas desulfurization unit, so what would be the effect on FGD unit by 5% firing?
Verma ji can tell, I think.
Sir, I think PK Gupta sir would be the right person. He is dealing with the FGD. So, PK Gupta sir, are you there? Pankaj sir?
Prakhar ji.
Sir, by the time we should take the next question, we will try to contact PK Gupta sir, because he is
Okay.
we will try to connect him, sir.
This will be answered later. Now, Ujjwal Chaudhary ji, your question is last question. Ujjwal Chaudhary.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, sir. This is Ujjwal Chaudhary from Damodar Valley Corporation, Mejia Thermal Power Station.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, my question is that whether this co-firing has been tested on ball and tube mill, and if not, then if we can get any guideline as to what precautions that is needed to be taken while using it with ball and tube mill. And second question, sir, a small question, one more, that is this co-firing equally effective in the rainy season? And what is the mill inlet temperature that is needed to be maintained when it is co-fired with wet coal?
Should I answer?
Yeah, anyone, please.
Yeah. Okay, right. So your first question was then second question was in rainy season. So yes, your apprehension is right that in a rainy season coal will be wet, and you will have to maintain this mill inlet temperature. But in that case, what you will have to do is to maintain mill outlet temperature, you will have to reduce the feed rate. So you will have to maintain the mill outlet temperature by reducing your feed rate, and we will have to take the more number of mills. That is the only change. And at present there is not very much biomass available at present. So it is being seen that in rainy season the biomass supplier don't supply the biomass because they also face the issue. So it is like that. It is not round the clock available at present, which is being seen. So in rainy season, you will hardly get biomass, I think. So, but if it is the case, then you will have to simply reduce the feed rate to maintain the temperature.
And what is the limit, sir? And what is the limit? That is what is the cap of feed rate? Of the feed rate.
No, just by seeing the mill outlet temperature. Suppose you are maintaining mill inlet temperature to be 190 degrees centigrade, 190, 180. So to maintain a mill outlet temperature in the range of 65 to 70, whatever feed rate is required to maintain, you will have to maintain. So the mill throughput will be reduced. To maintain the mill throughput, you will have to take the more number of mills. So your auxiliary power consumption will increase in that case. That is the only change.
I think.
But sir, in this case, mill coal to PA ratio also increases, because when we down the coal flow and we increase the PA flow, then coal to PA ratio is not maintained. Then lean mixture may be done in mill.
Right. So, but it is not going to cause any problem. The combustion will be there. Combustion will happen because in the September it was a rainy season. We done like that only. Coal was wet at that time.
Sir, regarding that boiler question, our Pankaj Kumar Gupta sir has joined, so we can
Sir,
raise that question, sir.
sir, sorry to interrupt. I had asked one more question regarding, sir, ball and tube mill. If anyone can answer
Yes,
regarding
ball
that,
and
sir.
tube mill in the regulation it clearly says that in ball and tube mill in policy it clearly says that in the ball and tube mill you will have to feed the torrefied pellet having the volatile material less than I think 25%. If I am not wrong, it is 25%,
22.
less than 25%.
Right, right.
So in that case, it will not cause. And in ball and tube mill, you don't have to feed any raw biomass. So and with torrefied with less than 25% volatile matter, it will not cause any fire hazard. With that intent, it has already been taken care.
Mr. Meshram, your second question, last question.
Yes, sir. So my question is, during initial trial, when we do not have a control wave feeding or control wave feeder, so how can we feed the biomass so that there should not be a ratio disturb?
Pardon, your question is not clear.
Please speak
Sir,
loudly, sir.
Sir, during the initial trial, now we are in initial phase of trial, and we do not have a pellet feeder so that we can feed a control way, feeding pellet in a control way. So we do not have a feeder. So we have the options to feed using a some bobcat or some instrument.
So
So how can we feed?
so I understood your point. So you have stacker reclaimer.
Yes, yes.
You have stacker reclaimer, then straight away you can mix the biomass in the coal yard with the help of this what do we say with a mechanical arrangement, and you can directly mix biomass with coal, and with the help of stacker reclaimer you can feed.
Yes, sir. So what should be the ratio of pellets and coal in the,
यू कैन जस्ट ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि आपको बहुत ऐसा एग्जैक्ट अरेंजमेंट करना पड़ेगा. एक पाइल बना लेना पड़ेगा कोल का. ये हमारा इतने टन कोल हो गया, एक ये पाइल ये आ गया, आप जस्ट डेंसिटी जानते हैं और एक पाइल बना लेंगे जस्ट, और उसके ऊपर बायोमास जितना भी आपका है आप उसे लोड करके आप उसको मैनुअली मिक्स करके आप इसको फिट कर सकते हैं. 5 to 10% जो भी रेशियो आपको बनाना है आप बना सकते हैं. नॉट अब शुरू में कर रहे हैं फायर तो 10% के बियॉन्ड मत जाइए. 5 to 10% रेंज में ही रह सकते हैं.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can the question regarding the TSP may please be repeated?
पंकज गुप्ता सर ने ज्वाइन कर लिया है.
Yeah, our expert senior Shri Pankaj Gupta sir has joined. So somebody asked that question regarding ESP.
Fabric filters.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the question was that what would be the impact of co-firing on the fabric filters, like the stickiness and from a temperature point of view, and the second was related to what would be its impact on the flue gas desulfurization units.
So you are from which plant?
I am from Jhajjar Power Limited, sir.
Okay.
Aprawa Energy. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, now I can tell you first number for the FGD. FGD, there will be no issue. And because the sulfur is reducing here, even not reducing, then also you have, if you have some margin, and because coal quantity you are firing same, sorry, biomass firing, you are firing the similar to the coal. So there will be no impact on the FGD. Now come to the fabric filter. Definitely the stickiness and other things has to be seen. But for 10%, what happens? The when you mix the, it will mix with the coal, and the flue gas which is having the coal dust and biomass dust. And this biomass is ESP is more important here. But for back filter, I don't think that there will be much impact, because the fineness is here is the higher, or you can say the almost same. So back filter performance will not impact for for 10% biomass. That I can say.
Thank you, Gupta sir. Thank you, Gupta sir, for answering.
Yes, and I have seen your Jhajjar plant also. So your back filter, I know the margin is very less, but there is not much impact, so it can be accommodated. Okay.
With this, I think questions are
Okay.
completed now, and we can move ahead with the mission directorate to we have a formal closure for this one-day seminar. So a message from our mission directorate may come from this. Then we can close this.
Yeah, Shamaji. I think throughout the day we had experienced a very interactive session and a very lively session. The participation was quite good, and what I am happy to find that they are quite interested in implementing this policy. And as the purpose of this biomass firing in power plant, we all have understood the noble cause behind it. It's reducing GHG emission in the country, and of course, in turn, the increase of RE share in our country. So, with this noble cause, we all should go together. Uh, uh, Many of the power stations, because this is our first interactive session with the GENCOs, many of the power stations so far had raised many of their queries. I think those queries have been raised here also, maybe from a different power station. And those queries were mostly related to some apprehension. What will happen? What would happen if this biomass is fired? What would happen if some situation differs? What would happen about the policy, about the regulation part of it? So all these, whoever have raised their question to mission directorate, those questions have been answered, and some of them, or rather a few of them, had requested for exemption of biomass firing in their plant, which has been referred to CA. I mean, the group headed by CA and the committee headed by CA has been taking this up, and they are interacting with the different power stations. And so far, we have found that in many of the power stations where this kind of apprehension have been raised, they are in a position to start biomass firing in their station. Earlier, when this biomass mission had started, we had found that mainly the NTPC power stations had taken initiative in firing biomass and also for procuring biomass pellet for future use. But in this 6 months period, I'm happy to repeat it again. In this 6 months period, we have found that most other power stations, especially in NCR area, have started biomass firing in their power station, barring exception in one or two. And at least they have taken initiative for procuring biomass pellet. Now it's the time that all other power stations across the country, because it's not only the NCR power stations who should take this up. I am not talking about NTPC power stations. I am talking about power stations of other organizations. They can come up, and I think today's interaction will help them. Actually, the requirement of this capacity building program has been fulfilled, I believe, because many of the technical queries, mostly these technical queries, have been answered by the different faculties and also from the person CA. And Mr. Sharma, I must say that you have taken up or you have compared these program quite well, so that all the questions we could take and all the clarifications could be made by different faculties. It's an ongoing process. Even after this completion of this session, in future also, if any other query or any other questions comes, those things can be referred to mission directorate. So we will be happy to take those queries. I will be happy to deal with them. And of course, our website is going to be launched very soon, which is when the website is launched, I think in the presentation of Mission Directorate, the features, different features of Mission website, which is related to GenCos have been explained. So you will get many of the informations from the website itself. So that's it. Let's go together and let's take it as our responsibility. It's a joint responsibility, and no single person, no single company can do this. Let's work together to make this mission a successful one. I am not talking about national mission in biomass particularly. It is the mission about firing of biomass, co-firing of biomass in thermal power plants. So let us take this mission, which is the mission of Government of India. Let us take this mission forward and let us make this mission successful. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for these encouraging words.
Sir,
Now-
one request from my side is that this was the program for pulverized fuel boiler. If we can have for the fluidized bed combustion also.
FBC and CFBC will be taken care separately, and maybe we have an interactive session, physical interaction session soon. Because of this Omicron, we are going this online session. Future may maybe in pan-India basis, Nagpur, Durgapur, there may be more programs, and you can participate because experts are available, mission is there, and people are ready to help. So with this, I want to conclude, and we can close down. And rest assured, all the PPTs will be mailed to you in the WhatsApp group as well as email IDs which were given. So with this, now I would like to thank you all, and we are closing now.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.